Today on the webinar, we are hosting Denise Whitmore. Hello, Denise. How are you doing, my dear? Denise is one of our premium members who decided to share a few tips about social media trends for 2021, addressing 5 free apps and softwares you should always use to save your time. Just to let you know, guys and girls, Denise Whitmore is one of the Ireland's best-known digital marketers, and she has been just nominated, from what I remember, Denise did let me know last month, for the Best Irish Marketing Freelancer of the 2021.
So it's, yeah, Digital Woman of the Year and Digital Freelancer of the Year. So
our congratulations, Denise. Well done, well done. I can see was a lot of work come into it.
Fingers crossed, yeah. So in a couple of weeks.
Don't worry. I'm sure you're gonna get it. Here in IrishDirectory, we're always gonna support you, share everywhere. So always count on our support. Denise, would you be so kind and introduce yourself and let us know a little bit more about you?
Sure. So my name is Denise Whitmore. My company is the Social Media Department. I am a social media manager and digital marketer. I would work with clients such as Riverdance, Celtic Woman, Mount Juliet Estate, Bourne Park, Southeast Radio, things like that. I've also worked on political campaigns with Fianna Fáil and the Boher charity as well. So I was in Rwanda last year gathering content for their Christmas campaign. So yeah, I absolutely love what I do. I have a passion for social media, although you might say it's an addiction. You know, there's a fine line between the two. So, and that's kind of me. I'm also it's great with the camera at the moment because you can't see. I'm actually 35 weeks pregnant. So
congratulations, Denise.
So I'm just about to go on maternity leave. So you're very very. So I'm hoping to actually go on maternity leave in the next week or so. But if I do get a little breathless, that's why. So I'm not having a panic attack or anything. I'm just.
Please don't. My wife as well. I remember she was pregnant, and it was, what was the exciting thing? I managed to deliver the baby by myself.
Wow! Well done. That's crazy.
So that was the crazy kind of approach from the father. Denise, can you share some exciting news about yourself and what is your passion? Why did you start it? What you are doing?
Well, my background is actually in IT. So I have an honours degree in information technology, and I started teaching. Like in the early noughties, I was teaching computers to the elderly and to the disabled, and I found that more and more people were asking me, how do I set up a Facebook profile? Because I want to connect with, other people. It was mainly kind of friends and family who had moved, and they wanted to really kind of connect with their grandkids and stuff like that. So I started kind of setting up these profiles for them. And then we realized that, well, in actual fact, more and more businesses were using social media. It was quite unusual, at the time.
Yeah.
And so more and more businesses were actually starting to use Facebook to promote themselves.
Hello, Eugene. How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing? Would you mind if I just mute you for a little bit?
No.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
So yeah, I mean, like so like I was saying, more and more businesses were kind of using the social media for themselves, and they were asking me to help them set up their accounts. And then I suppose it just kind of it evolved from there. So after doing that for about 5 or 6 years, I kind of wanted to move out on my own, and I actually set up an IT training company to begin with under a different. So that's actually how I started. I used to travel around to different organizations and teach people how to use Skype and how to use email and stuff like that, and social media. And bit by bit, the social media just started to grow then in the background as well. And then I changed the name to the social media department and decided to just focus entirely on that. But definitely I feel that my training background has helped because I do quite a lot of workshops, you know, teaching businesses now how to actually use their social media for their business. And yes, it's definitely helped. So I suppose that's kind of how the business grew.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's amazing, though. I believe it's really tricky to manage the business group and help all the businesses, and for sure they have lots and lots of questions to you.
Especially when you're running a class, let's say, and there's different levels.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that's normal. You're going to get that. It's probably it's one of the reasons why I set up my own Facebook group for the called the social media department. It just means that if anybody is attending courses, that they can actually join the group and they can put in any kind of questions then that they might have afterwards. And I'm always posting a new kind of updates. Social media is constantly changing with the new launch of Business Suite last year on Facebook in September. The Facebook platform is just, it's actually a nightmare at the moment, trying to navigate it. So I'm getting quite a lot of questions about that. So the group is a really handy place to I suppose, interact and answer these questions.
Mm-hmm. And Denise, I remember our today's topic is how to use the top 5 apps and how to help the businesses. Would you be so kind and let us know a little bit more about it? Because I'm sure our viewers would be really grateful if you can share some feedback and help them a little bit to manage their social media much easier.
Sure, no problem. So what I might do is I'm going to actually give a little bit of a talk, if it's okay, on the trends that are actually coming up for the next year. Okay, so there's a couple of things that are actually changing in social media, on the social media environment and platforms at the moment. So I'm going to chat a little bit about the trends that you can expect to see and what you as a business should be doing really. And then I'm going to tell you about, in my opinion, the 5 apps that I use that actually really that saves me time and money.
Yeah, the money is always number one, isn't it?
When you're self-employed and a baby on the way. So
Yeah.
okay, so first things first, I'm just going to share my screen.
Sure.
I'm going to get this PowerPoint presentation open. Okay, 1
I
second.
always have the problem as well with too many tabs open when you're working on the 3 monitors. It's just nuts.
Okay, here we go.
Amazing. Let's get the ball rolling.
Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to select one. Okay, so before I delve into a couple of these trends that are coming up, one of the things that I love to actually talk about is I suppose I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to social media. It's about the actual psychology of social media and what happens in our brain when we use it. So one of the first things that happens is we get this surge of dopamine, and we used to kind of think that dopamine was this kind of it's fun, this kind of happy drug, but it's actually more of a want. So it increases our want for something. So when we kind of use social media, you know, we kind of want more information. It's the reason why clickbait works quite well. It's the reason why these short stories are working really well lately. You'll notice over the last couple of years that lots of social media platforms are changing the type of content that goes out. They're really short, snackable content, like your stories start with Snapchat, now Instagram and Facebook, and obviously now we have it on TikTok as well. So this is what happens. It creates this dopamine surge, and we want more and more information. The next thing that happens then, oh, here we go, is we get a surge of oxytocin. So oxytocin is it's the cuddle chemical. We get it when we kiss and when we cuddle, and also when we tweet. So there's studies shown that about 10 minutes of tweeting or social media use in general, they had the same surge of oxytocin as what you would actually find on somebody's wedding day. So a crazy amount of dopamine and oxytocin, and of course they are highly addictive. They're far more addictive than cigarettes and alcohol. So you can see why, you know, the likes of me would be on social media and addicted to it, you know, quite a lot and using it quite a lot. So realistically, what this actually means for you as a business is that all you have to do is you have to try and stop somebody from scrolling in their newsfeed, because that's all people are doing at the moment. They're just constantly scrolling. So you, as a business, if you can understand, number one, the psychology of social media, and number two, how the algorithm actually works, then you can stop that thumb from scrolling, and you can make sure that that person actually sees your brand and your business name, because that's what you want at the end.
I think the businesses would have even the business owners. I think they are mainly focusing on their business, and it's quite hard for them to understand what's the algorithm or why they should even understand this.
Yes, exactly. But it's something that all businesses need to kind of try and grasp, understand why the algorithm is there, understand how it works. And then if you can understand that, then you can alter your content so that you can actually manipulate it and make sure you're getting the most out of each of the platforms. So about it was a couple of years ago that Mark Zuckerberg came out and basically said that the algorithm, the way it works is that they, from the business point of view, from Facebook's point of view, they want to make sure that the things that you're seeing in your news feed as a user, not as a business, as a user, the things that you're seeing in your news feed are the things that are of most interest to you, which means that you would have had to have interacted with something previously, a business or even a person, friend, colleague, in order to see their posts more and more in your newsfeed. So you might notice this in your own newsfeed. The posts are not in chronological order, and the posts that you see are the things that are the people and pages that you have been interacting with the most. This is why Mark kind of came out and said there's a post that spark conversations and meaningful interaction.
So I think they should always create like an engaging content, isn't it?
Yes.
It's like the content should be always targeted to the users, to the customers. So I think most of the businesses, what they are doing wrong, they just getting the approach, just buy, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I think it's really good idea for them to engage, like you would have a chat with a person, like face to face.
Exactly. It's the whole concept of putting out more nurturing marketing rather than just selling constantly. So don't be Ron Burgundy, okay? And don't constantly try and sell. So if somebody was coming to your door and knocking on your door and trying to sell something to you every single day, you would eventually block them. So if you would try to give a little bit of information, give something that shows that you are an expert in your field, then the business will come back to you. It's like giver's gain mentality. So if you are putting out posts that actually encourage this engagement, then you would hope then that the next time you actually do put out a sales post, more people are going to see it and more people are going to engage with it. But it is quite difficult to get that first initial foundation of engagement. And it is all about actually just putting out something that is meaningful and that kind of nurturing marketing. So if you actually look at the algorithm and how it judges different posts, so it will look at what the user has typically interacted with previously. It will look at the type of post as well. So, whether it's a link to another platform or an image or a video, or is it a native video as well? So we're going to look at the actual type of content. And then obviously it will judge it on the popularity of it. So this is probably one of the reasons why competitions do quite well on social media. It is kind of old school digital marketing, but they still work. And just to remind the audience as well that like and share competitions are actually against Facebook regulations. Not a lot of people know this, right? You cannot ask for a share or a tag as part of a competition entry requirement. You can, however, ask them to like the post and to comment on the post. And if you can get those two things, then that's enough engagement and you should be able to actually capitalize on that engagement in the hope then that the next time, like I said, you put out a sales post, more people are actually going to see it.
So pretty much what you're suggesting is always ask people to comment, to interact. And I think it's as well really important to give them the value when you're responding to them, and always engage in a friendly way. So little chit chat. I know that the Irish users, they always like the first chit chat first. Hello, how are you? Is everything all right? And then you get into get to know each other, like get a better engagement with them.
Then you get stuck into business.
Yeah, just First,
Yeah,
to start the conversations, though.
exactly. It comes to this whole concept that people buy from people. So
Mm-hmm.
be kind of a personal relationship with the brand. This concept of this corporate, curtain, it's been completely lifted. We like seeing behind the scenes. We like seeing who the actual owner of the business is, and what are they eating for breakfast. We enjoy these little pieces of information because we want to have an actual personal relationship with that business. So it's funny that you mentioned the comments, because some of the trends then coming up for the next year. So I kind of already mentioned this already. This really comes back to this dopamine surge. It's the short, snackable content, and these are the quick boomerangs. They're the quick stories, quick videos, things like that. So this is really quite important of a new trend that's coming forward for the next year. The other thing that I'm starting to see are these long captions on Instagram. This is quite new, something that I didn't think, something I didn't expect to actually see. But in the last couple of months, we are seeing much larger engagement on longer captions on Instagram. So you have a beautiful photograph, it's eye-catching, it's going to stop that scroll. But then you also have this nice piece of content that goes with it, this long caption. And it definitely encourages that more engagement with it. The other thing that we are starting to see is hashtags on Facebook. This, for me, is a little bit of a pet peeve, because Facebook has tried to get hashtags working properly on the platform. They just don't work as well as they would on the likes of Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and TikTok as well. But Facebook are really trying to actually push these topics of discussion is more what they're looking at in terms of hashtags. So you can see it starting to work in Facebook groups, where you have conversations and discussions are now being categorized under certain hashtags, and we will start to see that in our newsfeed as well. But for now, what I would suggest is no more than 2 to 3 in your post. Having lots of hashtags in your Facebook post, for me personally, is not a good idea. The next thing that we're going to see, well, this is kind of growing over the years anyway, is video. So that's using the likes of Reels, your stories, your TikTok, and native video. And what I mean by native video is video that you've created yourself and uploaded directly to the platform. You're not sharing a YouTube link. Facebook doesn't want its users leaving one social media platform to go to another one. So if you are a business, try not to share YouTube links. If you have videos, post them yourself and put them onto your own platform. So this is what I mean by native video.
But a lot of people, they're really uncomfortable to doing the videos. They try to focus on the business. Why they would need to do their videos and do their business?
Yeah, so you don't have, it doesn't have to be live. You don't even have to be on screen. But why not, let's say you have a new delivery of stock coming into the warehouse, get out your phone and do a quick, 30-second video and then put a little caption with it and put that out. So you don't always have to be in front of the camera either. And like I said, the Facebook group that I actually have, one of the things that we do inside of that is to practice, our videos and to practice going live with each other and things like that. So you can actually get more comfortable with it. Unfortunately, the way things are going at the moment, we are, this face-to-face networking is on for the moment. So we have to kind of get a little bit more used to actually being on camera. And it's just a matter of practice, really. But like I said, you don't actually have to be in front of the camera. There are other ways of putting video out there. Also looking at actual animations. So with Canva, which is one of the software that I use, you can create short little animations in Canva for your social media. The file is saved as a .mp4, so therefore the platform will see that as a video, even though it is only 5 seconds long. So that's something also to consider. The next trend that we're seeing is groups and events. This is huge. Definitely over the last couple of months, people have seen their notifications on Facebook are made up mainly of their friends and their colleagues interacting with each other in a Facebook group or an event. And so this is, like I was kind of talking about the hashtags, Facebook is putting a big push on the groups aspect of the platform. More and more people are joining these groups. they're interacting with them. It is a fantastic way to promote your own business. It's a great way of you actually engaging directly with your own customers as well, because the organic reach can be quite low on a Facebook page. So if there is a way, or if there's, I suppose, something that you could potentially offer your customers in a group, then set up a group, your own group on Facebook. Invite your customers to join us. It could be a bespoke, offering, or kind of a loyalty group, or it could be just a topical group on a certain, like for me, for example, I have a group about social media. And so you can set up a group like that as well. Then coming back to what you were saying about comments, this is going to be big as well. Long comments. Okay, so not just putting out a post on Facebook and then a question. What you want to do is you want to try and get the people who are commenting on your post to comment with long comments and have that kind of interaction with each other.
And how would you encourage the users to place the long comments? Like most of the users, they don't have a time for it.
That's true. However, there is something that we have seen over the last year. People are using social media much, much more. So we are actually sitting down and writing much longer comments on Facebook at the moment. And when it's something that we are quite passionate about, and we are seeing much more of this in groups as well as on Facebook pages. So to encourage it, try and put something out that might be debatable. So you ask your fans or your audience, do you prefer this or this? And then ask them to explain why. And then you would hope then that in the comment section that the audience are actually interacting and debating with each other. So this is something that if you can try and get these kind of long comments and long engagement, kind of conversational comments going, the Facebook algorithm is going to really reward your page for that. So there's some of the trends that we're going to start seeing over the next year. The next thing that I wanted to just quickly show you guys was some of the software that I actually use. So I've mentioned Canva already. Eugene is going to kill me for this.
Yeah, I'm trying to give our users straight away. We have the couple of people joining this webinar, so I'm trying to give them some value and the links as well for them in the chat. So guys, if you're looking for the links to those platforms and those extra tools, I'm going to send you in a few seconds while Denise is going to have a chat about it. Hopefully that's okay with you.
Yeah, perfect. I have some links there as well. I have a free trial for Canva, and I have a link for later as well. So each of these, like they other than Google Alerts, and actually, so Canva and later, they have a pro version. So there is a free version and they have a pro version. You'll get away with using the free version, no problem whatsoever. I've used it for years. So Canva really helps creating those social media posts. It gives you the perfect shape and size for each platform in terms of stories or posts, and even actually does videos as well, and emails. TweetDeck, and what I'll do is I'll actually show you a demonstration of each of these platforms. TweetDeck is a free software that links to your Twitter account. I would be absolutely lost without TweetDeck. You can have loads of accounts. So if you're managing multiple Twitter accounts, then you need to keep an eye on all of them at the same time. It's a fantastic platform. You can look at the notifications for each one. You can schedule tweets with it. You can follow hashtags on it as well. So this is great for running events as well. If you're kind of promoting a particular hashtag and you want to get it trending, to TweetDeck, fantastic software, and it's free.
What would you say is the best part of the TweetDeck for the business owners? The simplest thing that they can use and the most beneficial that they can get some return while using this?
I think, well, probably the best feature would be the fact that you can schedule your tweets with TweetDeck, and you can keep an eye on the notifications and your, see your scheduled tweets in one screen in one area. So that's quite handy as well. So you just log into your TweetDeck, you can have everything there in columns in front of you rather than kind of going back and forth. The other software that I use as well quite a lot is Google Alerts. So if you have a Gmail account, you can set up an alert under a certain keyword that you will get a daily email with links to any articles, news items across the entire globe that mentions those particular keywords. So it saves you quite a lot of time in researching content that's relevant for your business as well. So instead of you having to open up your computer in the morning and go through the internet and see, okay, for example, with my business, I might have to search on social media in the news or TikTok in the news and what's happening at the moment. Whereas what I do with Google Alerts is that Google does that for me, and then it sends me an email with all of the links to the relevant articles. And then all I have to do is go through that email and pick and choose which article is relevant for my business.
And Denise, Joanna just posted the question, what would be the best software for posting to multiple platforms?
Multiple platforms. There's lots there. You have Buffer and you have Hootsuite. I would probably use Buffer more than I would use Hootsuite. I find Hootsuite can be a little, it can be a bit expensive if you're using quite a lot of platforms. And also I find that you get quite a lot in Hootsuite. You get lots of reports and things like that. But if you don't really want that kind of level of software, then I think Buffer is perfectly fine. And I'm pretty sure it's cheaper as well. So, and it's a bit more user friendly than Hootsuite in my opinion.
Amazing.
So the other software that I use then as well is called Later. Again, this is a fantastic software. It's relatively new. It's for scheduling Instagram posts. Now, if you are an Instagram user, you'll know then that it's been quite difficult to actually schedule an Instagram post lately. You know, now I know that Facebook Business Suite has brought things in and stuff like that, but scheduling an Instagram post is a lot more complicated than the likes of Facebook or Twitter. So, but with the Later platform, again, it's free for one account. You can actually schedule an Instagram post and it actually posts it automatically. Whereas before, what it would do, what these different software scheduling tools would do is actually send you a notification to post. It wouldn't actually push the post automatically onto the platform. So this is what Later does. It actually goes ahead and publishes it on your Instagram account. The other great thing about Later as well is that you can actually schedule the first comment on your own Instagram post as well, which is really good, because one of the little kind of tricks with Instagram is to try this and see if it works on your own platform, is to actually, instead of putting the hashtags in the caption, put them into the comment and see, do you get any kind of extra reach or extra engagement? Because Instagram, the algorithm is kind of similar to Facebook. It will actually pick it up as if that is a comment on your own Instagram account, even though it's coming from your account. So that's something you could try, and you can do that with Later. You can schedule the post and schedule the first comment as well. Then the other software that I use is an app, and it's called Snapseed. And this is a fantastic photography app. It has the most beautiful filters. How I know about this app, kind of a funny story. I went to an Instagram training course a couple of years ago with the JJ community. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this JJ community, but it is a community of photographers on Instagram. Huge community. But one of the founders of it came to Ireland and ran a kind of an Instagram masterclass. And he was, or is, a photographer. He was actually the photographer for the Playboy Mansion for about 10 years. So he had wonderful stories to tell. But the funny thing is, he told us about this app. He, as a photographer, professional photographer, uses the Snapseed app. So that would just go to show how powerful the app is. And again, it's free.
Plus, we can see really good reviews about it, 4.5 and over 1 million subscribers to it.
It is amazing. It is amazing, yeah. So when you want to try and create really good content, which is what you should be doing as for your business, you know, you can look at the likes of Snapseed if you're taking photographs out and about, you know, kind of in nature and things like that. Snapseed is a really great app for adding some extra filters on it. And then you have Canva, so you can actually use the photograph that you filtered with Snapseed, upload it to Canva, put your own logo onto it, and hey presto, you've got a high quality branded content for your social media. So I'm just going to stop the share here. Actually, one other thing. This is a Facebook group as well. If anybody would like to join, I'll share the link into it.
Everybody are really welcomed.
Now, okay, so I want to just show you some of these things here. Okay. So this is what Canva looks like. So when you log in, it'll give you, again, you can have a free version of it, and it gives you quite a lot in the free version. It'll give you the exact, shapes and size for all of your social media platforms. So if I wanted to create an Instagram post, I can click on Instagram post. It'll open up another tab, and I've got that perfect square for Instagram. It'll also give you all these wonderful templates that you can use. You can click onto them, and you can move all the objects around, and you can change all the colors in this. You can change the text, and you can add your own logo to it as well, which is really important in terms of your branding. Okay, so that's Canva. The next thing then is I'm going to show you TweetDeck. Now don't get scared when you see this. Okay,
that's a lot there.
It's what I do. So I'm keeping an eye on all the accounts that I manage. So you can have, so there's quite a lot of accounts here in this particular TweetDeck. And then I can have, different notifications. So I've got notifications here. I might look at the user. If I scroll along here, there we go. I can scroll along. I can have a look at my different clients. I can schedule my tweets. So I can put in my tweet in here, add images, links, whatever I want to, and then I can actually schedule it as well. And then these columns I can pick and choose, so I can remove one. Like that.
I can see my favorite post out there, IrishDirectory, like that tweet you were mentioning.
And then I can go and I can add a column as well. So you can really move it around. So I might add maybe a user to see how things are going with a particular. So let's say we put this in here, put that in. And I can see it there, so I can see exactly what's happening on that account. And it's a great way, like I said, of keeping an eye on everything that's happening on Twitter on that one screen, rather than kind of jumping between the two.
And how often the businesses should look into it? Because I know they're quite busy though. What's the best time to look into it? Should they do that on a weekly basis, daily basis? What would you recommend for them?
Oh, well, I suppose I would definitely say daily. You need to be checking your notifications daily. And, realistically, people need to be looking at their social media as part of their business, as part of your marketing of your business. You wouldn't not focus on sales, for example, or your suppliers or your accounting, things like that. So people need to start looking at their social media, like I said, as actually part of their business week. And like I said, giving it the attention that it actually needs. People tend to think that social media is this nice thing to have over here, and that they'll dip in and out and doesn't really make much of a difference to their business. And in reality, it's probably the first thing that people see when they search for your business or search for the industry that you're in. They're probably going to land on your Google My Business page. They could land on your Facebook page before they end up going to your website. If they do go to your website, they're going to look at your Facebook page and to see how active you actually are. We have to remember that online perception is reality. So if you have two accounts, the same industry, hairdressers for argument's sake, one has 200 likes, another one has 20,000 likes. One hasn't posted since last October, but the one with the 20,000 is posting regularly. And you're going to think that the one with the 20,000 is a better business, is a better hairdresser. When offline, in reality, they're probably just as good as each other. But people were much more inclined to go with the one that looks more popular, which is why your social media is very, very important. Because like I said, it's all about that perception when that the customer lands on those pages.
And when would be the best for the businesses to post, like in the morning, in the evening? What do you think?
It's down to their own audience. It's down to their own audience. They need to look at the insights to see when their audience is online and then to actually be posting at those times. But if you don't have that kind of, knowledge built up yet on your Facebook pages, have a think yourself. When would you actually look at social media? Do you look at it first thing in the morning? Do you look at it after 9 o'clock in the evening? And then you could also run some tests. So, for 1 month, post at a particular time. For the next month, change the time. And to see then, well, which worked best? What kind of posts was I getting the most engagement from? So unfortunately, there's no real one answer for it. It really does depend on the actual business. It depends on the target audience as well. When are they actually online?
Mm-hmm. I think that's really helpful. Thank you so much.
The other software, this is your Google Alert. Again, a lifesaver, guys, absolute lifesaver. All you do is just type in google.ie/alerts. If you're signed in already with your Gmail account, you can pop in a particular keyword here and add it to your alerts. And then Google will email you then if there's any articles, news items, things like that related to that keyword. Now, some of it might not be relevant, but it saves you quite a lot of time trying to find all of that content that you can actually share on your own social media. Then we have later. So this is how the later looks. And again, you have your kind of content calendar here, and then you upload your images and you can drag and drop these over and drop them into a certain slot. Okay. And then you can write your caption and you can schedule that then. You can push that out at a certain time and date. So it's very, very user friendly. I'm just going to leave that. Here we go. And again, it's free. So Later actually has the pro version where you can put in other platforms as well. So instead of like using the likes of Buffer or Hootsuite, you could look at Later for those other platforms as well. It's not something that I've looked at yet. And then the last thing then, so I won't keep you guys any longer, is Snapseed. And this is basically the Snapseed app. This is what it looks like. It used to only be on iPhone, but I was doing a little research and it is on Android now, which is great. And that's it. That's me.
That's me. What an amazing feedback, though. Thank you so much, Denise.
No problem, no problem. So like I said, anybody has any questions, check out the social media department group on Facebook. You can follow my Facebook page, the social media department. And yeah, or email me, Denise@socialmediadepartment.ie.
Yeah, that's amazing, amazing. Dennis, I know you're as well the premium member of the IrishDirectory. Would you like to share a little bit feedback? What you think so far while you're registered out there?
Loving it so far, definitely. Really user-friendly layout and format. So I'm looking at actually putting an article on it soon as well. And yeah, in terms of SEO and stuff like that, guys, the more backlinks you have to your website, the better. So this is it's great for optimizing your own website and your own business. So yeah, well done. You're doing really.
Thank you so much. Dennis, we also let you know, like we are still working on the improvement of the platform. We got a lot of feedback from our users. So we are advertising for the last 3 months and we work on a full redesign of our platform. What really exciting, what is coming next, you as a blogger or as a premium member, you're gonna manage to share the articles on the 12 to 15 social medias at once. So try to imagine how thanks to this, you're gonna manage to scale the business and create more links for your website.
Exactly, yeah. So hopefully it'll be, kind of saving a lot more time then if with one click you can actually just push out an article across to all of the social media platforms. That'll be great.
Dennis, I noticed we have one question from Curran. What would be your recommendation while using the Canva? What is the pros and it's so good, is it?
Yeah, it's amazing. Okay, so I was using the free version for a long time. And then last year I just got so busy and I decided, okay, I'm going to have a look at this pro version. I went up a level. For the sake of, I think it's €11 a month, it's not going to break the bank. But it gives you far more free stock photographs that you can actually use, far more templates. So I think it had maybe a couple 100,000 images and templates in the free version, but the actual pro version, it gives you millions of photographs. This is one of the problems that a lot of businesses have at the moment, is trying to find photographs, images, things like that that they can use on their social media that isn't going to go against any stock rights. I've had 2 businesses in the last couple of years come to me and tell me that because they found an image on Google, saved it, and then put that out onto social media, they've actually been fined. So you cannot just save an image from Google Images. You have to actually have the rights for it.
It's always tricky, isn't it? And even when you get into images from the Google, they're always they're not always free, and you can get in a lot of trouble by using the images from the Google. You might use for your personal use, but if you want to use for your business, really be careful, because you can really easily get sued while using the images that they are not allowed for the business use.
Exactly. So you really need to just avoid that entirely. To never ever save images just from Google Images. Always go through the likes of Canva for your images, or Pixabay is another one. Or if you want to purchase images, you can go to Shutterstock. And so, like, this is kind of one of the reasons why I went up to the pro version of Canva, because I found that I was using images that I was paying for, whereas with the pro version, they're all for free. And just gives you much variety. You also have wonderful effects in Canva that allows you to remove backgrounds from images. So for example, this is again another problem that I was having. Clients were coming to me with their logos that might have been designed 10 years ago, and the graphic designer is now gone, and they had no high quality logo, and it was on, let's say, a white background or a black background, and you want to create a transparent version of that. Then with one click on Canva, you can remove that background of that logo. Whereas before, it was getting quite fiddly. I was using Photoshop, things like that. Photoshop is, you're talking maybe €700-800 a year for that license. Extremely expensive. And Photoshop is a skill in itself. So if you don't want to actually go down the route of, studying to become a graphic designer, then Canva, if you just want to create those kind of quick social media posts, Canva is excellent for that.
Guys, I also using a lot of free images. It's few good websites that you can use the free images. I'm just gonna share with you on a chat one, which is the Pixabay. That might be quite useful for you when you start and use maybe not as high quality images as you should, but it's always like a little head start for you guys.
Pixabay is fantastic as well. So I would have been using Pixabay quite a lot before I went to that pro Canva as well.
So it's really good for the beginners to start from somewhere, and later on, I think when you're creating more attention on your social medias, then you should move to Canva, a more professional look and feel.
Yeah, totally agree.
Amazing. To all our users, I know you are still with us, so thank you very much. Would you have any other questions that you would like to ask Dennis or me during this webinar?
Just looking at the chat here, people downloading Snapseed, which is great. Video editing app, it depends on the phone that you're actually on as well. I have Slice, I have Quick, and I have iMovie. They're some of the apps that I would use. As well as that, if you have videos on your mobile phone, you can actually upload those videos to Canva, and you can edit the videos, not edit, but you can add like captions, you can add different logos and stuff like that onto your video as well. So that kind of is a great way of branding it. But if you just want to keep it all on the mobile phone, check out Slice, Quick, 𝐶𝐞𝐢𝐚𝐥, and iMovie, obviously, for the iPhone as well.
Paul, me personally, I'm using the Wondershare. Like, I'm always editing all our videos, and you can create little tips and put your branding, resize. It's not a free one, but man, that's amazing software to have. Like, you can live stream to your social medias. The software calls Wondershare, Filmora. If you'll be as well interested with a little bit premium editing for the videos.
StreamYard as well is quite good for creating videos and for streaming. I branded videos as well. It's quite good.
I'm still getting the grip of the webinars, So I promise you guys, next time we're gonna stream on all the social medias, and we're gonna share. I'm gonna share for sure all those videos on the social medias to help you guys as well, and engage. And we try to give you as much value as we can. So always give the value to the customers, support them, and support all the Irish businesses. So that's why we are here. We're trying to help you out. So please follow us on all of our social medias. We're always here to help. You have any questions. We have a Dennis all the time on the board from the social medias. I can help you a little bit more from the UX and the web design. So always let us know how we can help you.
Excellent. Well, you've done. It's been a great first webinar. So well done.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm still nervous. That's why I'm trying to keep my hands a little bit down. So we're getting there, getting there. No problem. Thank you very much, Joanna. And you're very welcome, Paul. Okay, so let us know if you have any more questions. We're gonna give you a couple of more minutes to think about it. I hope so. You're gonna surprise us with the questions. We're always here to answer. Try to let us know how else we can help you.
Thanks, everyone. Great to see the feedback coming in.
Thank you very much again. Hopefully I pronounced properly. Or maybe it's Eugene. So, oh, Eugene. Sorry, still new to the Irish name. Sorry for that one. Cool. Thank you for the info. Great webinar, short and sweet. Oh, thank you very much, Joanna. Appreciate. Okay, guys. So let's put it this webinar a little bit to the bed. I'm gonna do my best to host more and more webinars. So if you'll be so kind and let us know just below in the comments, what kind of webinars would you be interested? What kind of struggles you have in a business? What kind of help would you look for? Would you have any topics that you would like to talk about? If you are a business and you would like to be as well interviewed as a Dennis and be part of the webinar, always write to us to the info@irishdirectory.ie. You can also view our website and the pricing. We have free registrations to everybody. So if you have the questions, if you would like to talk, if you have struggles in a business, let us know. We're always here to help you out, and let's support each other.